Patrick says, "Hi, Zach. Another question for you. I just watched the highlights of the Hawaii Bowl, and Hawaii quarterback Cole McDonald had a great day with almost 500 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. And I have seen good performances from him in the past as well. And I wonder, what do you think of him as an NFL prospect? Greetings, Patrick." I'm going to tell you what I see when I watch Cole McDonald. This is not officially a film analysis. If I can get all his film organized, I watched 5 games. If I can get more film on him, we'll do a full film analysis. Right now, I'm not sure. It depends on if Hawaii gets back to me, and we got a lot. We'll see. But there's one thing I want to say. I love the way that Cole McDonald is capable and willing to steal yards underneath. It's a really good trait in a quarterback when he's like, "Hey, the guy's open at 5 yards. I'm just going to take 5 yards every single time." He does that, and that's really good. That's something an NFL quarterback needs to have, and I love that. And more importantly, he's comfortable doing it, right? He has operated a system for a long time, throwing the ball a lot, many times a game, and he's comfortable stealing yards. That's a huge deal. But I have numerous concerns about Cole McDonald. We'll get into that. I want to say a lot of people like Cole McDonald because of his numbers. He has good statistics. I'm not into fantasy football crap. I hate that. I think a lot of people think that stats equate to being successful as a quarterback or as a player. Having good stats in college does not mean you're going to be good in the NFL. There are endless examples of this. Colt McCoy, Colt Brennan, another Hawaii quarterback. Look at the list of all-time leaders in passing in college. Not every single one of those was a successful quarterback in the NFL. Sean Mannion has incredible stats in the Pac-12. Where's his success in the NFL? It doesn't exist because he's not actually that great. Straight up, I don't like Cole McDonald's mechanics. I also hate his deep ball. We'll get into that in a minute. He has an awkward and slow release. It's kind of a whip. It's a long delivery. He doesn't separate very well. You want to separate and then throw, and he kind of has a long, over-the-top kind of weird release. It doesn't work. And he doesn't have a cannon. I will say Cole McDonald's arm strength is good enough to succeed in the NFL. And with some mechanical tweaks, if he learned how to use his core and how to use his legs, he could have even more arm strength. I mean, there are some throws that Cole McDonald misses downfield because he's not using his legs or he's not using his core. So with some little tweaks to his mechanics, if he works with a guy like Jordan Palmer or somebody and they can really help him, Cole McDonald could make a lot of strides as a thrower of the football. But he throws like a whip. That long delivery, he like pulls it back and then pulls the ball all the way over forward. It causes him to have a slow release. And what that means and the impact that has is that from the time he decides to throw and starts pulling the ball backwards to the ball actually coming out of his hand, it takes a long time. That process is too slow. And it allows defenders time to react. They see the ball go backwards. They go, "Ooh, I'm going to break." And they break on the ball. By the time the ball gets there, they can knock it away. It's very easy to defend. And a lot of the passes that Cole McDonald completed in college will not be completed in the NFL right now because he's going to play against better, more talented, and faster guys who can recognize when a throw is coming quicker, and they just literally move quicker. So Cole McDonald will not have the same success in the NFL he had in college. And a lot of his statistical success, he has great numbers, but a lot of that is because of the system he ran. He threw the ball a lot. He was throwing the ball constantly. He played for Nick Rolovich, who's a run-and-shoot, technically, offense. There's a lot of ways to define that. It seems like everybody has a different definition of run-and-shoot. It just means he throws the ball a ton, and that's part of why his numbers are so good. I don't love his deep ball either. Cole McDonald can throw the ball a long way. That's not what I'm talking about. People really don't understand arm strength and deep ball. They're totally uninformed on how the quarterback position works at all. At Hawaii, Cole McDonald's deep ball location was bad. It sucked. What that means is that he would often throw vertically to a spot downfield. 40 yards outside the numbers, that's kind of a lot. He just kind of aims to a general area rather than throwing to a man. He couldn't beat great man coverage into a really small window vertically because he's just putting the ball up. And a lot of times that leads to jump balls or often, in his case, overthrows. I mean, there's a throw against BYU where he badly misses to a guy who's wide open downfield, open by like 4 yards, misses the throw because he doesn't throw precisely to a small location downfield. He throws to an area, not a man. He also forces the ball into coverage. If you go watch the BYU game, that is the bowl game, the SoFi Hawaii Bowl. His stats are great. Cole McDonald has great statistics from that game. But if you watch the film, you'll go, hey, highlights are one thing. Watch every throw, because every throw, if you watch, I encourage you, like even Patrick wrote in and said, I watched the highlights. You can't just watch a quarterback's highlights and assume he's good. No offense to you, Patrick. I'm not saying you did that. I mean, it just got your mind rolling and you were curious. But if you go watch every throw Cole McDonald made against Hawaii, you'll see that he regularly threw the ball into coverage. There were moments where BYU dropped interceptions they should have caught, and he's forcing the ball into like triple coverage. You're like, what are you doing, dude? What's happening here? There was a moment where BYU started taking away the seams, which is a throw over the middle. And he kept trying to throw it there. It's like, dude, stop. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your team. You're just getting lucky they're not intercepted. So, and then he had that guy deep. He just missed. It's like, man, you can't do that either. Now, he had some good moments. I'm personally not impressed with Cole McDonald. He's been on my radar for a long time, and he just never developed the NFL traits I wanted him to. He had a great sophomore year, and I was like, ooh, Cole McDonald, maybe he'll get there. And he did get better as a player, but the NFL traits he needed never have developed. And there is a chance he can succeed if Cole McDonald can sit for a while and learn and improve and tweak his mechanics and get better at reading a defense and doing a lot of little stuff. Great. But you could say that about literally, 90% of quarterback prospects, there's a chance they could succeed, right? It's very rare you see a quarterback that is just awful and has no hope. Currently, Cole McDonald is not ready to succeed in the NFL. I do want to add this too. By the way, it's kind of weird. The ball comes out of his hand awkwardly sometimes. He's got long, like a weird release and weird mechanics, but sometimes the ball literally just comes out ugly. And when a guy struggles to throw a spiral, or he throws an indirect spiral, which means that you're like spinning the ball, but you're not actually throwing the ball. There's a difference here. So like, how do I explain this? I could throw the ball at you, but the spiral should be directed like where at your small location. Like the spiral should feel like it's coming directly into your soul. Ooh, that spiral's coming right at me. The ball like spiraling, but it's kind of sideways and it's coming towards you. That's a guy just spinning the ball. And he does that sometimes, and then the ball comes out wobbly and weird. Like there are moments where I watch Cole McDonald throw the ball and I go, how did that happen? Like it's in the right area, great, but it's like an ugly, awful duck. And how did that happen? This is a weird minor thing that I don't know how to explain very well, but it is a real factor that makes you go like, can he throw in cold weather? Can he throw in a lot of wind? I don't know. It's like an indirect spiral. It's very awkward. I don't know how to explain this because you guys don't play quarterback, and I know that it's hard to understand, but you do see that from time to time with Cole McDonald. So look, if a team takes him, there is a chance he makes it, right? But the problem is with Cole McDonald, like I would love to see Cole McDonald with the Patriots. I think he fits in their system. They love to steal yards underneath. He could fit really well in that system, but they have Jarrett Stidham, so he'd have to be the third quarterback on the roster. And I think that where Cole McDonald is going to struggle, like he could be a 6th, 7th, or round draft pick, or maybe a free agent added to a team. But most NFL teams don't carry a third quarterback. And when you do carry a third quarterback, it's because either, you're like the 49ers just love their quarterbacks. They're not going to get rid of any of them. Or you keep a quarterback because their physical upside is so good that you just want to keep them around and train them. Like somebody's going to draft Jordan Love. And Jordan Love might not be ready to even be a backup this year. Like if the Saints drafted Jordan Love, right? They'd have Teddy. They'd have, in theory, this is a hypothetical, but hypothetically, you'd have Drew Brees, a guy who's ready to play in case Drew Brees gets hurt, and then you're keeping Jordan Love on the sideline, just learning all year, getting him ready for the next year when Drew Brees potentially retires. But Jordan Love, you don't want to throw in a game, and so, but you keep him around because he's so physically gifted. The upside is there. I don't see that physical upside from Cole McDonald. He doesn't have incredible arm strength. He's not a great, incredible runner. He's not super accurate. There's nothing that jumps off the page from Cole McDonald. So he could be on a roster, but he's not going to, I don't think anybody would keep him either as a third overall, like a third string quarterback, because his upside isn't so incredible. You might keep him and waste a roster spot when you could have a better guy who could contribute on special teams or maybe play in a game. So I don't think Cole McDonald makes an NFL roster. I might be wrong. We'll see. And we'll see what kind of development he takes with better coaching, through this NFL draft process. Maybe he works with Jordan Palmer and he uses his core better, fixes his mechanics. Who knows? But currently, today is January 24th, 2020. I almost said 2018. It's definitely not 2018. Currently, Cole McDonald is not ready for the NFL, and that's unfortunate. I'm rooting for him. I hope I'm wrong. But what I see on film is that Cole McDonald has a lot of little things he needs to work on. I just laid them all out for you. But that's how I feel about Cole McDonald, the quarterback out of Hawaii. I love him, though. I follow him on Instagram. A really interesting life. And I'm rooting for him as a quarterback and as a person.